This is Dr. Jeffrey Hanna, and I need to tell you why you may not have had problems right away, even though you do have an issue with your neck. Many people don't see a doctor until they have major pain or major problems. One reason this happens is because people don't like to admit that there's something wrong with them. Another reason this happens is because people ignore the early warning signs and believe in the false belief that, quote, there's nothing wrong with them because they feel fine. Now, there are four general categories of things that happen to people when they suffer an injury that create a subluxation of their neck. One possibility is that you get your neck and your nervous system properly addressed right away, even if you don't feel any physical pain, and because you get the problem fixed right away, you don't go on to suffer any long-term problems. The second possibility is that you don't do anything because you don't know what to do. For example, the symptoms you do experience are so generic, so feeling sick or feeling depressed or anxious or just generally unwell, that you don't attribute them to the injury, and as a result, you don't know what to do. Third possibility is that you know that there's a problem, but that you lie to yourself. You experience particular symptoms and you know what to do, but you convince yourself that, it'll go away on its own. Or, oh, okay, it's just because I'm getting older, there's nothing that I can really do about it. But it's the fourth possibility. That is the one that is the most common. And the fourth possibility is that you don't do anything because you didn't feel anything at all. And it's only because your body has had to compensate over a long period of time that you even begin to notice, but that can be a long time after the original injury. The cruel reality is that just because you didn't suffer any initial pain or problems doesn't mean that everything is fine. If you have a cavity from not brushing your teeth, for example, you may not feel it right away until that little problem becomes a big problem. And the same thing goes with the kinds of injuries that create subluxations. Just because you didn't break anything and just because it didn't dislocate doesn't mean that you didn't have a little problem that has now grown into something much larger. Now, your brain isn't stupid and your body isn't weak. They will compensate as long as possible to keep you alive and as healthy as you can be. But any compensation left alone long enough, invariably it's going to cause its own problems. So it's not uncommon that you don't have anything for 10 to 20 years because your body's been adapting so well, it's just gotten to the point where it can't adapt anymore. And this little thing that's been growing beneath the surface all the time finally shows itself for what it actually is. And when it does, yes, it can come as a surprise when you realize that your condition is not necessarily an easy fix like it looks like on the surface, that it's actually a chronic problem that is going to take some time. But when you realize the truth, then you finally have the opportunity to make a conscious choice to make changes that will actually improve the quality of your life.